right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A mother's car is taken without warning.
I'm still in the dark.
Now she's left with thousands of dollars in bills. Tonight, the I-Team uncovers a larger system of towing troubles.
Temperatures today in the low to mid-50s throughout the entire region, and it was nice and warm. It will not be that way tomorrow when you wake up totally different. The big shock to our system and how long we can expect this Arctic air to stick around.
Our top story, a county clerk possibly heading to court.
She has integrity, unlike the people that's attacking her.
The collateral damage from a political showdown. Tonight, that county clerk's attorney is speaking out as the council chair comes to her defense. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
In our rainy night, Mike Bush has the night off. Now, this all stems from claims of nepotism against a county council member. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is in the newsroom to pick up the story from here. Brent?
All right, Rennie, Kelly, when Councilman Dennis Hancock's stepdaughter was brought on as an administrative assistant, she later quit following criticism. When the county clerk was later asked to fill out a form about that former worker's status, well, that's when the clerk's attorney says things got muddy.
She's very upset. She's never been in trouble in her entire life. She has an excellent work history.
Attorney Joseph Hogan in Clayton says his client, St. Louis County Clerk Diane Valentine, was indicted by a grand jury for felony forgery charges and several other misdemeanors.
In this case, they're saying she made or altered a writing or a report.
The report at the center of the allegations, a form, he says, asking the clerk whether Councilman Dennis Hancock's stepdaughter was employed with the county. At that time, she had resigned.
She didn't work there, so she put rejected because she informed St. Louis County she didn't want to work there anymore.
We're told prosecutors questioned whether there was some type of cover-up attempt when money was deposited into that former worker's account. But some county leaders believe the criminal charges here are politically motivated.
Our team, the small, mighty team we have, they are not expendable. They are not someone's pawn. They're not for political folly. And so if that is what you need in order to stay important and powerful, then you need to find somebody else to pick on.
Ms. Webb, who are you referring to? Prosecutors?
I'm referring to the prosecutor attorney and the county exec.
Hancock was briefly expelled in August after prosecutor Wesley Bell filed a petition to remove him from the council. Hours before a crucial vote, County Executive Sam Page opposed, only for a judge to reinstate him before that vote.
Dennis Hancock is an honorable person, and I know personally he feels terrible about what's going on, that our client's been held out as a scapegoat. And I do believe Sam Page is hoping that maybe Dennis Hancock would try to resign his position in lieu of the charges being dismissed against my client. Now that's speculation, but based upon the past history of Sam Page and all the other shenanigans, I think it's an educated guess.
I made contact with Hancock, who told me he has no intentions of resigning. We also reached out to Wesley Bell, but he's out of the country. A spokesperson for Sam Page telling me, quote, "We have not seen the indictment. If true, this is alarming," end quote. I've learned a special meeting will happen tomorrow for council members to discuss all of this.
Thank you, Brent. Right now, another developing story with the St. Louis County Council. County Executive Sam Page is being sued. 4 council members are asking a judge not to allow Page to replace the county prosecutor without their approval. Page has claimed his pick could act as interim prosecutor even without the council's approval. On Tuesday, council members voted not to recommend his pick, Court Van Alstrom. A judge is currently deciding if Page or the state has appointment power.
Just minutes ago, northbound 270 near Page Avenue reopened. It was shut down for several hours following a deadly crash. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says it happened around 6:30. One person died, 2 others were taken to the hospital. We don't know what their conditions are. Traffic is being diverted at Olive Boulevard.
Right now, let's take a live look out over downtown St. Louis as the cold air starts to settle into our area.
Weather impact meteorologist Gary Frank is here to tell us how you can expect a cold commute in the morning.
Very cold. I think we got a cold commute on the way home here. It depends. And, by the time we get out of here, we're really going to feel the difference from when we got here because of this storm system. And it's producing a lot of snow in Chicago, the Great Lakes. We're on the wraparound dry side of it, but that front has moved through half of the region. You started to see where we have these 20s behind it. We're still at 47 in St. Louis, but look at that switch in the wind out of the northwest now. And it's not right away, but it's starting to come here. Alton, you'll see that 39 degrees. It's going to get colder. Look at the wind that's already picked up. We're talking about right now, sustained wind in Columbia, 30 miles an hour, gust to 43. And that's the wall of wind that you're going to hear. 38 mile an hour wind gusts in Jefferson City. It's not picked up quite as much in our area. Pittsfield up to 22. So that's what I think we're going to be dealing with significantly over the next several hours. So for the rest of the overnight hours, we're going to fall to around freezing. And yeah, that doesn't really jump out at you as far as being cold, but our main weather impact Friday is it's very cold because it feels like it's 15 to 20 with those gusts up to 40 miles an hour. We'll talk about how long that lasts into Friday and if that's indicative of what we can expect the rest of the weekend.
Hours ago, the latest suspect in the killing of CBC hockey player Colin Brown pleaded not guilty in court. Police arrested Donovan Balcom yesterday. He faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder. He'll next appear in court December 26 for a bond hearing. Police are still looking for more suspects.
Tonight, we're learning more about two separate shootings, both involving sons allegedly killing their fathers. Police in Manchester say 41-year-old Jeffrey Getty strangled, beat, and stabbed his father 50 times. He has turned himself in after traveling to Jefferson County and telling investigators he accidentally killed someone. Police say Getty admitted to using a knife to attack his father. Hours earlier in Overland, police arrested a 29-year-old man for shooting and killing his dad during an argument. Police say the case is closed and did not charge the son, saying that they determined it was a case of self-defense.
Tonight, a University City mother of 4 is searching for answers after she says her cars were towed right out of her driveway.
The I-Team's Paula Vassan uncovers how what should have been a step towards securing her family's future has now turned into a financial and emotional crisis.
For Kiana Dorsey, life is all about her family. Raising her kids and a 1-year-old grandson, she works tirelessly to hold everything together. Now she says the city she calls home is tearing it all apart.
I'm still in the dark.
A few months ago, Kiana says University City Police and a nearby towing company showed up unannounced at her home. She says this is the moment they towed 2 of her cars without warning, leaving another car damaged in the process.
They just dropped it.
Which the city denies. The whole ordeal has left her with an avalanche of unanswered questions.
I don't know why you're towing it. Then when I ask you why, you tell me to take it up to the county.
She says she has no record of any legal issues with the city or unpaid tickets.
All my property taxes are paid.
So the I-Team pressed for answers. A University City Police spokesperson responded by email, saying towing actions follow strict rules for public safety and compliance with state laws. They added that Hartman's Towing is an independent contractor. The city does not profit from towing fees, and they declined to comment on potential legal matters. The city's attorney says the 2 cars were towed because they were unlicensed, making them public nuisances.
I had plates on the vehicles.
She tells the I-Team her bills are piling up.
I'm getting ripped off.
Over $7,000 in towing and storage fees.
It's very heartbreaking because you don't expect something like this to happen to you.
Kiana's story isn't an isolated case. Attorneys with Arch City Defenders say illegal tows are a growing issue across St. Louis County, tied to one motive: money. They point to the fact that in the past 5 years, University City's municipal court has collected millions in fines and fees. But the city says it removes only a handful of derelict cars each month, emphasizing that it actually results in financial loss.
It also raises many constitutional issues.
Attorney Brianna Coppersmith is representing Kiana.
Anytime you take private property, the government has to provide notice, an opportunity to be heard. It's deeply concerning when we think about the government coming onto someone's private driveway to cars that are not presenting any safety hazard, any risk whatsoever, are parked legally on their driveway, and then without any warning whatsoever can just take those cars.
Kiana, now down to a single car, is juggling 2 jobs and mounting bills.
Who do you think needs to be held accountable for this?
University City, the police department, I do.
The city says its attorney is working with Kiana's attorney to resolve the dispute and get her cars properly registered and licensed. But Kiana feels blindsided, saying her vehicles remain in the tow lot and she's still waiting for a clear explanation. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
Today, nurses and activists protested outside Homer G. Phillips Memorial Hospital, demanding officials change the name. This comes just days after the hospital shut down due to a blood shortage, putting about 70 employees out of a job. The group Homer G. Phillips Nurses Alumni says the closure tarnishes the name even more. Members also claim those employees haven't been paid in almost a month. Many are putting the blame on the developer, Paul McKee.
Is arrogance at the highest level. Not just only arrogance, disrespect for our community. It's just a simple question. I mean, nobody is saying close the clinic down because we do need services, but respect the name.
We reached out to Paul McKee but haven't heard back. There is no reopening date for the hospital.
One of the busiest roads in the Metro East will soon be getting a multi-million-dollar overhaul.
Greenmount Road sits about 16 miles east of St. Louis along I-64 and has gone viral multiple times as rush hour traffic routinely backs up onto the interstate. 5 on your side's Holden Kowicki is in St. Clair County with more details on a plan that IDOT engineers believe will improve safety along with the flow of traffic.
As communities like O'Fallon, Shiloh, and Belleville continue to grow up around Greenmount Road.
We just crossed over about $100 million worth of new permits that we've issued the first 11 months of this year.
O'Fallon Mayor Herb Roach says local drivers are running out of room.
It was an oil rock road, quite honestly.
As experiences like this continue to become more frequent.
In fact, just the other night, the wife and I went across there and we saw it and it was backed up.
IDOT engineers have quietly been trying to find a fix.
Our goal is to try and get that stop traffic off of the interstate.
After 7 years, they've come up with a $67 million solution.
So there is traffic that backs up along that ramp from eastbound 64 onto southbound Greenmount Road. So we're going in and we're widening that ramp.
At the same time, IDOT is planning on expanding I-64 from 4 to 6 lanes between Greenmount and Reeder Road, which some believe could cause further traffic issues.
There will be some lane closures. We are targeting having the contractor work at night when there are any significant lane closures. But along mainline I-64, there should always be 2 lanes of traffic open, except potentially at night when he's trying to get some additional work done.
Though the issue could cause some short-term slowdowns, Mayor Roach says it will eventually allow the area to continue to grow.
I would rather have it that way than people saying, well, look at all those vacant buildings, look at all those vacant homes.
IDOT plans to start accepting bids on the project in March, and if all goes to plan, construction will be completed by 2027. Reporting in O'Fallon, Illinois, Holden Kowicki, 5 on your side.
The perfect holiday gift could be the perfect storm.
And can be life-threatening in as little as 2 hours.
We're looking into the safety measures you can take to keep your kids out of toy trouble. It's getting hot in here for Christmas. Okay. How Nellie is playing Santa Claus and giving back to the community.
We got a lot of snow off to our northwest, but it's going to miss us, so there's no white Christmas, but it's mighty cold behind it. As that colder air settles in, we'll talk about what it feels like tomorrow morning with that Arctic blast and how long that sticks around as we head into the weekend before the holiday.
Watching little ones play with their new toys is just one of the more joyful parts of the holidays.
But how do parents know which toys are the safest and the best for their development? Tonight, Consumer Reports offers advice before you go shopping. Here's Mike Bush.
Dr. Daria Long is an emergency room physician. She's also a parent who loves seeing her kids' eyes light up when they open that perfect present.
It does make you feel good to say, okay, here's a toy that they enjoy, that will keep him occupied, that I know also kind of challenges him, and I know also is safe.
It's important to always read labels to ensure a toy is appropriate for a child's age and development level. For example, choking is a hazard for kids ages 3 or younger because they tend to put objects in their mouths.
So I call it the toilet paper rule. If anything, a toy or any item is small enough to fit into that little cardboard roll of the toilet paper tube, and it is small enough that a young child could put it in their mouth, which means it could be a choking or swallowing hazard.
Toys made of fabric should be labeled as flame resistant or flame retardant. Stuffed toys should be washable. Art material should be non-toxic, and avoid older painted toys that might contain lead. Also, be careful with button and lithium coin batteries. They can be found in remote controls, key fobs, toys with lights, and digital thermometers.
We see cases of children swallowing button batteries every single year in the ER. Button batteries are everywhere. And if a child swallows one, it can become lodged in their esophagus, where it can actually burn a hole through the tissue and can be life-threatening in as little as 2 hours.
So what should you look for when shopping for toys? For babies under 1, focus on toys like an activity mat with high contrast colors that can help with cognitive development. For toddlers, look for toys that support their motor development, like push walkers. Playing with music toys can lay the foundation for language development, encourage fine motor skills, and help toddlers express emotion. For children ages 2 to 3, consider larger puzzles, stackable blocks, or beginner building sets to help develop fine and gross motor skills.
And remember, when you have kids of different ages, it's important to designate separate toy spaces and teach older kids to keep their small toys out of reach of younger siblings.
Tonight, a surprise for the kids at the Boys and Girls Club of St. Louis. The group held their annual Christmas bash. 100 bikes and helmets were given to the kids. Raising Cane's donated all of the items as part of their annual bike giveaway. But the surprises did not stop there. Nelly also made an appearance.
I want to thank all of y'all for allowing us to do something special this holidays with you all. It's something I hope that you all will remember.
Singer and Nelly's wife, Ashante, also came out for the event. She's been a member of the club for 3 years.
Oh, I bet they love that.
Yeah, maybe they a little concert too.
I know. Well, Scott's off tonight. Gary Frank is here with the weather impact forecast, and it's gonna get cold, isn't it,
It's gonna
Gary?
get cold. It's already starting to pick up. It's not all that bad right now. In some spots, already starting to see. And I looked at one of the cameras to see if we can see that wind pick up here at the Kirkwood Farmers Market. Not so much here. It's one of the few spots I can tell that it's evident. So wind isn't there just yet, but I'll show you where it is here. 28 in Kansas City. This is a spot that was 30 degrees warmer in the afternoon. They got in the upper 50s, close to 60. So you're really starting to see that. Warrensburg still 34, 45 in Jeff City. That front starting to rush through. And this is where it's going to start to get cold pretty quickly, as we see behind that front. Look at the leading edge of this front. You can really see where this is. Like I said, gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour in Jeff City, Columbia. I mean, the wind is going to start to howl here, and that's what's going to usher in colder air and a big change. You'll see where that front is as it's pushed its way in. While this moisture isn't reaching the surface from Effingham, Litchfield, and St. Louis, it is indicative that the wind shift is here, as you'll see that northwest breeze. So watch this over the next several hours. As we head into the overnight hours, watch our temps. They will fall into the upper 20s, right around 30 degrees. It's not all that bad, but when you add the wind, that's the significant factor. Like I said, that wind spreads in. If you're a light sleeper, be prepared. Those winds are going to gust up to 35 or 40 miles an hour overnight. You're really going to hear that. And I think by tomorrow morning, it's going to impact your driving for sure. It's cold. Look what it feels like. Between 10 to 15, maybe 20 degrees. And I'm not sure that changes a lot throughout the rest of the day. So that's the main key factor for us tomorrow. Other than that, the entire system, I showed you that snow, that's part of this system that's dragging this cold air in, may add a few flurries. And I would say they're probably conversational flurries in the Metro East. That's it. That's all they're going to do. They just add an insult to injury. Otherwise, it's cloudy for the most part. Temps are in the mid to upper 30s. I think we get to 35. I think our gusts are at 35. It's cold. It's raw. Try to stay inside if possible tomorrow, because otherwise it will get better. As we look to next week, we're talking about warmer temperatures and rain. If you're traveling, staying at home, there will be dry time throughout these times, but Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, there's off and on rain, and temps are in the 50s. So overall, let's get through tomorrow. It's 35. It's cold Saturday. That's the first day of winter, the winter solstice. Then we're in the mid 40s. Otherwise, it is cold. And over the next few days, you're going to see temps in the 50s by next week. And from a time where we should average below freezing, and we barely get above it tomorrow, once we get to Sunday, we're above freezing for the next 5, 6, 7 days.
St. Louis weather.
You got it.
Please don't take this personal, but I don't like your forecast.
Oh, well, you want it to snow?
right now.
You want it to snow?
No. So
okay, what do you want? What kind of time we got?
Corey, what's going on?
Well, the Blues are in Tampa. The Battlehawks have a couple of new quarterbacks, and we even have some Thursday night high school basketball action. Stick around. Sports is up next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Well, it seems like the honeymoon period for Jim Montgomery as Blues head coach may officially be over. The Note went 1-3 over the past week and had another tough test tonight down in Tampa against the Lightning. Matthew Joseph is now the lone Joseph Blues brother after the trade of P.O. to Pittsburgh yesterday. Lightning struck first tonight. Anthony Cirelli slick move past Jordan Binnington, 1-0 Tampa. Second period, an impressive passing display leads to a Nick Perbix goal, 2-0 Tampa. Later in the second, puck knocked around a bit. Robert Thomas going to get it. He sends it to Pavel Buchnevich on the doorstep. He buries it, 1-goal game. Just about a minute later, though, Gage Gonsalves fires one past Binnington to make it 3-1. Jim Montgomery then made a goalie change after that. Monty swaps Binnington for Hofer, but there was no more offense, so it really didn't matter. Tampa wins 3-1, handing the Blues their 4th loss in their last 5. Here's Monty on the goalie swap and the loss.
I just needed to change momentum of the game, like we were down, we just gotten to 2-1, and, it was a great shot straight on the elbow. Just wanted to slow the game down and get back an opportunity to talk to the team on the bench. The difference in the game is their top players made some high-end plays. Their goaltender was really good. Offensively, we did a lot of good things, but we need to be hungrier at the blue paint, either bodies and pucks.
Opening night, a conference play for OVC Hoops, SIUE and Rayshon Taylor taking on Little Rock. And Taylor can make it rain. The kid from Collinsville drains that tough triple. He had a game-high 18 points. Cougars battled from behind all night long. Desmond Polk made it a 6-point game with 25 seconds left, but they couldn't get any closer. SIUE drops the conference opener in Little Rock 60-56. High school hoops tonight. Great rivalry here. Lafayette at Eureka. The home crowd was in a festive mood. Joe Rawls going to give him something to cheer about. He spots up, drills a long triple for Eureka. Let's go back the other way now. Number 33, Nolan Savoy, makes good on his number. That's a 3 for Lafayette. He's going to do some work down low, too. Nice up and under coming up right here for the bucket. This game came down to the wire, but Lafayette gets the 51-49 win on the road over their rivals from Eureka. Great girls game on the Illinois side. 8-2 Columbia hosting 8-0 Breeze Central, who is ranked as the top 2A girls team in the state of Illinois. Eagles trying to hand them their first loss. Ava Langens catch and shoot. That's good for 3. Next possession, Central's Taylor Trame going to answer with a triple of her own. With time winding down in the first half, she's going to connect from deep again. Breeze Central stays unbeaten with a 54-35 win over Columbia. Well, the portal never stops for Mizzou football. This morning, they lost freshman wide receiver Courtney Crutchfield. This evening, they gained safety Mose Phillips from Virginia Tech. Life moves fast in the portal. The Tigers' biggest addition in the portal so far has been St. Louis native receiver Kevin Coleman. The St. Mary's alum was a star in high school. We have the footage to prove it, as you see. He was also a standout at Mississippi State last year, racking up 932 yards and 6 touchdowns. Coach Drinkwitz talked about replacing one St. Louis receiver in Luther Burden with another St. Louis receiver in Kevin Coleman.
We know he's a dynamic playmaker, ball in his hand. We're losing a pretty good slot wide receiver that wears number 3, and we just said, who's the best number 3 slot wide receiver we could go get? And it happened to be Kevin Coleman. So really excited about what his game is and what he'll bring to our team and explosive nature. And he's a genuine young man. I really enjoyed spending time with him and his family when they came on their visit.
The St. Louis Battlehawks have found their new quarterbacks. The team announced tonight that Max Duggan, Siobhan Cordero, and Manny Wilkins will compete for snaps at QB in 2025. You may remember Duggan. At TCU, he was a Heisman finalist in 2022 and led the Horned Frogs to an appearance in the national championship game. Just about 3 months until the Dome is rocking again with all those cacaws.
Yeah.
I know folks are ready for some tailgating.
I'm ready for some cacawing.
Yeah. I better see you.
There you go.
You just said that. I better see you over there.
Yes.
Front row.
Thank you, Corey.
Oh, boy.
And coming up, no reindeer, no problem. See Santa's new way to spread some Christmas joy. All right, everybody, check this out. Santa is trading in his sleigh this Christmas. A children's hospital in Colorado had Santa rappel down from the roof and wave to all the patients inside. The local SWAT team helped pull off the stunt. Hospital staff and even more surprises were down there on the ground with a holiday-themed parade.
Can you imagine, though, if you're in your room and you see Santa outside the window?
In a SWAT truck.
I know. My goodness.
A little confusing.
Yeah.
Exactly. What is he here for? More on your surprising.
I think we're going to be
cold,
freezing.
What is
That
gonna
he
surprise
loves so
you?
much.
So you wake up when it's normally, it's not even the low temperature
You're normally
yet.
asleep.
You know, we wake up and tell you the low temperature.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to be able to stay in bed tomorrow because we got you back again, and it's going to be the same temperature tomorrow as if you'd have got up at midnight when you usually get up, as opposed to going to bed at midnight.
You're just telling them my whole life, aren't you?
All your business.
And we put the plus on 5+ here.
Oh,
we got this cold front moving through. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be very, very chilly here. But if we can get through it tomorrow morning, like I said, it's going to feel like it's between 15 to 20. Those winds are pretty strong. A cold morning, bundle up. Going to be about the same in the afternoon.
We can handle it.
Yeah.
That's all for 5 on your side at 10 o'clock. Remember, we're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis, although Rennie will not be there.
I'll be asleep.
Beginning at 4 a.m.